Hello guys, welcome to another video of Docker. In this video, we are going to discuss about creating repository in Docker Hub. Along with that, creating Docker files and how we can push the image which we have built using that Docker file to our Docker Hub account. Okay, and later if we need to use that image to provision containers, how we can basically provision containers as well. Okay, we'll see how we can provision containers and access that in our browser. Basically access those containers or application in those containers in our browser. So let's begin the video. This is my Docker Hub account. If you have not one, you can create it by going to this hub.docker.com. Okay, if you go here, you can sign up and create your Docker account. So I have already created it. Once you have created your account, and if you go to repository, you can create your own repository as well and push the images inside that repository, and later you can use the same repository to pull the images from it and create the containers. Okay, to create it, you can just click on create repository and you will get an option to create it. I have created this repository. If you want to push into this repository from Docker command, this is the command docker push. This is our repository name, and this is the tag name which you can use to push any image into the Docker hub. Okay, so for this, like we have done this, we have created the Docker account and all the things. Let me now just pull one image, docker pull. Let me just pull this nginx image, and we'll first spin up this image or create a container with this image, and we'll see how the default nginx web server or the web page will look like. After that, we will make one change, and then we can see like how our with the docker file we can build that, and we can create one of the containers or many containers with that. So this is now image is pulled. Now let me go back here and run it. Just simply let me run this command. So my container is created. If you want to know the container, you can just create docker ps, and this is your container. Let me try this. Since we have a huge port 80, so we'll just simply type localhost here, and our application should browse. And okay, so this is the default message we get when we install the nginx server. Now let's change the index.html file inside our docker file, and we'll deploy this image again, and we'll see how that looks like. If you see here, this is my docker file and this is index.html. This is a basic docker file. Let me open this with VS Code. So here I just have imported or taken this nginx image from Docker Hub, and I'm copying my index.html file, which is this one, to the container here in this location where nginx server html file will be there inside this folder. Okay, so the original nginx, the default one, will be replaced by my this index.html file which I have written here. So let me check it, and this is the message here, welcome to docker demo for this. Let me open this in Notepad as well and show you. Even we can change this message as well. Docker. So if you change this message and save it, and so this copy will copy this index.html file to this location inside the container. Okay, this is the way to write a Docker file. Generally, we take a base image. So Nginx is my base image, and after that you can do your work, like you can copy some files from your local to your containers. You can create environment variables with this env keyword. You can run some commands with this run keyword, and like this we have multiple keywords to write the Docker file, and we can use that to write your Docker file and uh, do the changes based on your requirement. Okay, so we are not going deep at the moment because we are just I'm just showing you the demo how we can basically write the Docker file and build our own image. We will see the advance of Docker file in later videos, in future videos. Okay, so this is my Docker file. Let me save it, and this will uh, let me build the image as well. So let me open the OneNote, and we had run this nginx container, and we had seen the default message. Okay, so this is my Docker file. This is the content I have added in my Docker file, and let me build the image now. So to build a Docker image, there is a command docker build. You will have to run that. Let me paste it. So this is my docker build command -t, and this is your tag. Basically, with this name your image will be created or basically tagged. Okay, so whenever you need to use this image for running the container, you will have to use this name to basically use this image or use that image to create your containers. And dot means our Docker file, and every file is in current directory. Okay, so I will enter it, and this will start building my image. Okay, it will internally download the nginx image from Docker Hub. After that, this will copy my index.html to the container. Okay, see, this is basically getting the image from Docker. Okay, and this is finally build the image. After that, we can again spin up one container with this image. Let me do that. So this is the command docker run. This is image name. Let me just quickly copy it and explain it to you. So docker run, this is a command to run a container. This is my container name, my nginx one. These are the port numbers like 8080, container port, and my local port, and this is my image name. Okay, let me run it. Okay, so this is the container created. If you type docker ps, and this container is up and running. Okay, let me now go to browser again and type the localhost. Browse this localhost. Okay, so see the message which we had written in my index.html is now being shown here. Welcome to Docker and Kubernetes demo for Nginx by Ramesh Gupta. Okay, so this was the message we had written in the index.html, and we built one image with docker build, and we deployed that image in a container. Okay, with docker run command, and our container is also running. Okay, so this is how you can build the image with docker file and run your containers and access it from browser as well. Now we need to tag that image and push the image here in our docker hub repository for later use. Okay, so to tag that image you will have to run docker tag command. Okay, so this is my docker tag command will have to run. So for before that, let me just type the docker images. So here if you type docker images, you can see this is the image which has been created when we build this we ran this docker build command. Okay, this is the tag we had given. Now let me run the command to tag it. To tag this, you will have to run this properly, otherwise this will not work. So for docker tag command is to tag your docker image. Okay, so this is my repository. If you see, this is my repository, and if you see here, this is my repository. If you open it here, see, this is my repository name, and if I want to push into this repository, I will have to use this repository name. Okay, so this is my repository name pasted here, and this is the tag. Okay, with this tag, the image will be visible in our repository. Okay, and this is our repository name. So you should write your image name in this format so that you won't get issues while pushing this image to Docker repository. Okay, let me just run it, and now type Docker images again. So you can see there is another image with the name which we created. This is the repository and this is our tag. Okay, so whenever we run this docker push command, it will search for this repository and it will create a tag in that repository. Okay, now let me open this page and push this image. So this is our image, and we'll run the docker push command. This is our image, and so this is my repository. This should always be in this format, otherwise your command will not work. Type v1 hyphen. Okay, this is my total image name, so I will now press enter. This will start pushing the image into the remote docker hub repository. Okay, let the command complete and we'll go into the repository and check. So the image is now pushed. Let me refresh the page and see it. Okay, so you can see the image is created here with tag v1-release pushed just a few seconds ago. Okay, here you will show the type, this is image, and here it will show you the OS as well, like this is a Linux OS. If you open the tags, you can pull this image as well, and you can see the commands, you like what are the commands being ran in this image. Okay, so if you have to pull it, you will have to run this docker pull command and repository name plus image name as well. Then you will be able to pull this image directly in your local and use this image to create your container anytime. Okay, so this is how we create the containers and we spin up that to, and this is how we access them and push that to our Docker Hub repository. So that's it from this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe my channel. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.